Welcome back to Book Break. In today's video we are looking to the future. I am going to tell you about 6 books we are publishing in the first half of next year that I am so excited about. I can't wait to read these myself. I can't wait for you guys to read these. I think they're going to be huge. We did this once before about 6 months ago, so I will link to that video below, but for now let's get right into my list. And I've got a mix here of thrillers, non-fiction, historical fiction, so much to be excited about. So in January we are publishing the book How to Just Eat It by Laura Thomas, and you know how much we loved her first book Just Eat It here on Book Break. I made a video with Laura Thomas where we went and got our nails done. It was so much fun. I will link to that video below so you can give it a watch. Laura Thomas is a nutritionist and counsellor who is totally anti-diet. She is not here to tell you what to eat or what not to eat. She is here to help you genuinely improve your relationship with food. I found it completely revolutionary. She also has a brilliant podcast called Don't Salt My Game, and now she has written this book full of exercises and activities to really guide you through the process of breaking that diet cycle and learning all about intuitive eating. And January is a really tricky time if you struggle with your relationship with food. Everywhere you look, people are talking about their diets. I know I find it really difficult, so this book could not be coming at a more perfect time. And next, for some fiction in February, I can't wait for the book Night Shift by Kiara Ladner. So this is a dark book about obsession and the otherworldly experience of being one of London's night shift workers. So our main character is a 23-year-old called Meggie, who becomes completely obsessed with this very enigmatic woman she meets called Sabine, who works a night shift. And so Meggie ends up giving up her whole normal life, her whole daytime existence, her boyfriend, just to end up on the same shifts as Sabine. And as Meggie gets more and more sleep deprived, the book takes on this rather dreamlike quality. So it's about friendship and sexual attraction and manipulation, and I have been looking forward to this one for so long. Also in February, we're publishing the book Brown Baby by Nikesh Shukla, who's the editor of The Good Immigrant. And this is his memoir written for his daughters, and it's all about his experience of fatherhood and raising his daughters in a world where they will face racism and sexism, and how to prepare them for that without taking away all of the joy and optimism that childhood should contain. And it's also about grief. He wrote the book inspired by his own mother, who his daughters never got the chance to meet. And I'm just so excited for everyone to read this one. Nikesh Shukla writes so heartbreakingly and hilariously and powerfully. This should be on everyone's most anticipated list. Then in March, we're getting some historical fiction, The Lamplighters by Emma Stonex, which is based on this amazing true story about 3 men who vanished from a remote lighthouse. The door is locked from the inside, the clocks have all stopped, the table is set for dinner, just the eerie setup that I adore. So that happens in Cornwall in the 70s, and then 20 years later we catch up with the women who were left behind, whose lives have just been torn apart by this mystery, and now a writer has approached them to tell their side of the story. And so they're going to have to confront their darkest fears to uncover the truth, and I cannot wait to get my hands on this one. Then in April we're going even further back in time for Sister Song by Lucy Holland, which is set in a magical ancient Britain. This one is a folk story retelling inspired by the ballad The Two Sisters, which is a story that I've heard lots of different variations of and I'm always so entranced by every time. It's a rather dark story about a girl drowned by her jealous sister. And then all the way in May I am so excited about 16 Horses by Greg Buchanan, which is about hysteria setting in a small English seaside town after 16 horses' heads are found buried in the ground, each with one eye facing the sun. Absolutely terrifying setup. And the investigation into this uncovers all of these other interconnected crimes in the community, and the town ends up completely slipping into panic and paranoia. It sounds so gripping, I can't wait. So there is so much to be excited about in the first half of next year. I literally cannot wait for every single one of those books. Do leave me a comment if there are any books that you are particularly highly anticipating that are coming out next year, and I will look those ones up as well. But if you want some books you can get your hands on right now, I will link to our playlist of book hauls where I go through some of the most exciting recently published books from our list. See you next time.